I think this will be a good.
Better not.
Alrighty. Hello, Champlain College. We are here watching the Valorant Club team play against Georgetown College. It's been quite a long time since I've been back in the caster seat. If you guys don't remember me, my name is Jonah the Whale, and I have here with me a very special guest from back in my casting days. I have Jake Omega over here.
Oh, hello everybody. Hello. Kind of off the cuff, but yeah, I decided to come in tonight. We're going to play some Valorant. We're going to have a fun time. Our club is just absolutely going to demolish Georgetown. No hate, but we are better.
All right.
And we're on bind. We're on bind to start out tonight for the 3-map rotation. And that's pretty good. We're on Lemon right now. This is Fade, so we're going to see some rotates out of them. Mainly because Fade is an initiator, so they're really going to be used where they're needed and less, stuck on site. Unless the team actually decides. Yeah, see, as they're coming in here, Lemon's going to be in a good position. We'll see if they actually pop some util. Oh, nope, they're going to get Delpeaked here. One from Showers, one from Lane. And then we've got, oh, wow, okay.
Wow.
Very interesting here. Yeah, they're looking for a late B, it looks like. So it looks like if they don't hit A, it looks like they're probably going to look for the rotate to B, which is kind of what you saw there, which is why you saw the split of the team last second. Very interesting that they're looking to make that really on-the-fly adjustment. Jonah, do you know what the average rank of the team is currently?
I do not. I've been told that it's somewhat on the lower end, but they should still not be fully underestimated.
I was going to say, I believe a lot of the time, it doesn't really come down to player skill. It really comes down to prior planning and execution.
Positioning.
Positioning is always a big thing. Right now we got I Am Existing. And yeah, I mean, Cypher, so he's more of kind of like your sit and wait type of guy. He's more your site lockdown. Realistically, so you're not going to see a ton of movement out of him until, it looks like they're committing A side here, so Fade and Cypher are going to move off real quick here. Or at least they need to be in order to get, on site in time to actually work with Yoru here. Because he's kind of stuck in that corner. It looks like he's going to get overwhelmed here in a second if they can't actually get him out. Yeah, he's the fake, and they have him in the corner there, yeah.
Gets caught out. Unfortunate 2 rounds there. Will Champlain manage to get that back? It's still early.
It's kind of a shame that the casters never get the player comms. Like it's not like like in NBA you can get the mic'd up moments and stuff like that. I think it would be nice, but I think what we can see based off the gameplay here is that Champlain just needs to kind of lock in a little bit, work on their communication, call out those rotates, look to hesitate just a little less so that their comms are a little clearer, more direct. Because their start out here is very nice. Looks like we got Yoru and Fade actually looking to push out of Showers and actually make sure that, confirm that they are going to hard commit to B here as Georgetown pushes in. Didn't actually spot out the Cypher. Surprised by that eye. Although, looks like he's stuck there in the corner. He got out. And Georgetown takes entry into B, leaving Gecko by himself. He really needs to get, either keep this space or get back to the team here. So you got 4 options. They're kind of split, but this is okay. If they manage to time this correctly, they can really, look to do some damage, catch some people off guard. But looks like Georgetown is kind of just stuck in their position, not willing to really give anything, waiting for, some movement from Champlain to actually figure out where they are rather than. And as you have as we have Fade and Yoru coming up long, they're able to actually take the long route here. And the only person they actually have to deal with here is stuck in Hookah. In that smoke. So let them defuse, you get that, and you get the free. Wow, Lemon Ace, I didn't even see that. Going so fast here. Jonah, what are you noticing so far?
Well, I'm noticing that Champlain is starting to commit together a little bit more, catching Georgetown a little bit off guard. That point was a little bit, they were a little bit non-communicative. You would see Athena kind of far out, pushing in with their team. Really, they were just able to hit the right angles at the right time. What I'm looking forward to now is making sure that Champlain, being around down, can maintain their econ to make sure that they can kind of steamroll through if they can get their momentum.
Yeah, we are on 4th round here, so it is. We've kind of got gun advantage right now because we did win the the eco round there, so we have the gun advantage, which is a really good thing. I did want to highlight that even though that felt like it started out messy, Champlain went 2 and 2 there. Really good divide, and you saw the Yoru and the Fade go up long
Look at Lemon right
to
here.
just kind of pressure the fact that Georgetown didn't
Nice
want to
kill,
give
Lemon.
anything. And yeah, it looks like we're just gonna get a free stream roll based off of gun advantage here, which is good. Take the rounds where you don't actually have to think all that hard in order to get an advantage
Damn,
here. Lemon went
Lemon
down. So we're hoping for Yoru and Athena to actually
Athena through the
close.
smoke, staying. Can we get a kill on Spooky? Poking out.
Take his time. He's gonna get.
Cutting through.
They check the angle, and they can see
darn.
that. They can
Comrade
see
down.
that That's the thing about the Yoru util there is, his util disappears to the enemy team
Okay.
after a couple seconds, I believe. I don't know the exact number, but really have to think about in this case what Georgetown did correct there is they kind of just they didn't play aggressive. They held that angle. And the second they saw that Yoru util just get popped, they knew exactly where he was, and they could just
Right.
fire straight through the wall and just take him out to actually get through the rest of the round. But I've got to say, as long as Champlain is completely fine in just slowing their pace down, trying to match Georgetown, I think, in this scenario, because Georgetown is, both kind of swapping between fast and slow. They've kind of got that split. When you've got these rounds where B is kind of that slow pace, and you've got to really hope, in this case, they're more committed to B because they lost something on A immediately, although, they probably wanted to maybe go A here because they realized that they took 2 out on A. And they kind of gave themselves, Georgetown are giving Champlain way too much time here to actually re-rotate, actually get in position. You see just this entry denial, just getting absolutely, just not the way who just died here. I believe it's the Fade. But that initiator util is just completely out of the equation already, so they just have no way to actually, figure out where Champlain is.
Nice kill.
And you've got your 2 characters are Yoru and Cypher, both of which can play off of each other really easily here. You have the Cypher as the secondary, you have Yoru as your entry. That's why, even though Champlain, as a lower skill team, I will say, from my time having been able to kind of be in, I would say, not to really hype us up, but the golden age of Valorant and Champlain, you could still get that play where the Yoru is, shot first, even though he's not really, Cypher's not really ready to play off him. But as the Cypher, as long as he, is not making it aware where his position is specifically, is able to actually take advantage of Yoru, regardless of whether that's being played with or after a slight time difference, so that he can get that kill and secure the round for them. It's good to see that the round differential is not getting any higher than a 1 differential.
What a play
Wow,
there.
this is a really fast take by Georgetown. They're really just going to look at it to clear, the entirety of what the A players is holding. So they really have free reign as long as, and Lemon gets a little ahead of themselves here. Kind of gets taken out. So Georgetown really just has free reign
Georgetown
to
really
walk
took
into A
control
if
of
they
the
want
tempo
to,
here.
or they could, quite literally, if they find out fast
Oh?
enough, they could just quick swap over to B.
Spike planted.
Puts Champlain into a
Last player standing.
Ooh, nice trade.
say good trade, and Spooky gets an ace.
Unfortunate.
So Lemon 1 ace, Spooky 1 ace, 1 of 1.
Mm-hmm.
Not too terrible to start out the game in the first 6 rounds.
That was a tough round. Georgetown just really kind of took the momentum of the game by getting just an easy double from that one
I was gonna
move.
say the util execution there was what was key. They pushed it fast. They knew, where the two A players usually tend to hold, and they had the right util at the right time. Um, they'll have to wait, to do that same strat over again. As with the Brim ult, it's going to take a couple rounds to actually get that back and actually execute that again. But clearly, we're seeing a new take from them as they walk slow into showers. But we are seeing something different from Champlain as well, where they have 3 players on A, which they haven't necessarily been doing. But they still have. I'm really interested as to why it's so one-sided for both teams here. Because you kind of want to be able to control space in Valorant, and that's the physical space. I'm not talking about some mental space or like the mental game or anything like that. The physical space of the site is what matters, and I think what Champlain needs to do is they need to have more trust in in their duelists and in the duelist's ability to take a larger amount of space. Like if Yoru in this instance, who was on A, had maintained that space of showers, they would have been able to call out 3 players coming into showers, and that would allow Lemon, that would allow Athena to actually position themselves correctly in the site. Whereas we saw them kind of stutter a little bit because they weren't really in that position. They really only had the upper left side of the site. For this perspective of the attackers, which gives a lot of strength to Georgetown, which you don't really want to take, or Champlain doesn't really want to give in that sense. Georgetown wants to take it all,
Marked 1.
Good, yeah, I was gonna say good opener from Yoru. I don't know if he wants to really push this or not. Yeah, I was gonna say that it looks like they're just gonna commit to a B push here because they know that 2 are on A. They understand that at this point the Cypher is kind of the necessity for the B hold. So if they're going to go for the Waylay to actually push them all off sites. They actually managed to get Cypher in that entire scuffle, leaving essentially Lemon to actually go for a single push here. And then, yeah, the pressure from Halls is just a little too much for Champlain.
Will we get
as
that
they
gap?
lose 2.
Oh, Lemon down.
And, yeah, Georgetown plays a really good 2v1 here, and one swings early, happens to get the shot fast before the other can swing, but that is a really easy, double play where you have one player swing out, kind of run the rabbit. For my folks in the audience who might know a little bit more about, I would say, military tactics, military jargon. But that's essentially what you have, is you have somebody run out first, and then you have somebody quick peek close to really split them, so that they really, like, as a player, you either have to choose to full commit to the first player or the second player. And in this case, with Valorant being Valorant, good aim is the name of the game. And having 2 players, really overload your senses in that moment, unless you're, cool as a cucumber. You're just going to get wham, bam, thank you, ma'am.
Especially because this game punishes you for movement. So
correct. Unless you know how to correctly strafe.
Right.
Because there is a couple methods to strafing in Valorant. One is a pretty standard WASD, just, whichever direction you're moving, let go of that. Let go of that. The more high-skilled would be to actually use 2 movement keys, where it essentially allows, because of Valorant's movement system, a cancellation of the force. So, say, being able to go left and right, A and D, pressing those at the same time allows somebody to... allows you to actually, like, on a dime, stop the movement, get your gun essentially straightened out, your aim straightened out, and shoot your first couple of bullets in your spray correctly, rather than just have it be kind of, a spray. God, it's been a while since I've been doing this, so sorry if it sounds a little confusing or if I'm making it a little too complicated. do try to dumb this down for people because I understand not everybody's got the same level of knowledge.
That being said, Champlain getting the defuse on that last round means that we still are in this. We do have to catch up by 3 rounds. How likely do you think we would be able to get that momentum back?
I think with the current, which the fact that we have 40
Enemy down.
and
Nice
that
kill,
pick,
Ahmed.
I was gonna say four ults and that pick puts Champlain in a good spot to get their 4th round on the board.
We may be on track to
as
get
long
another
as
2.
they
Hold.
specifically here gotta be careful. Yep,
Narhan?
gotta play together.
Oh, unfortunate. Will
Good,
Narhan
but
go
the
down?
aim from Narhan and bottom frag is just slightly better than Champlain right now. Seems like individually the players are hesitating just a little bit. How
Athena.
many
Oh, no, almost.
have you been tracking the Valorant players? How new is some of the players on this
Spike planted.
roster? I know
Um,
I've seen Lemma before. I know I've seen Athena before.
I'm not entirely sure.
No peeking.
But it seemed like less of a trust issue and more of a experience issue here with some of these players being
Nice kill,
newer.
Athena.
Athena really
Out the
confident
side.
swing there, not looking to get the
Athena, yeah.
person in the corner there, not checking her corners. Got to be real careful about that. As you get in the higher levels, you really got to just like slow down. Essentially, the way you can talk about
Caught
Valorant,
out.
yeah, caught
And
out,
Katsuni also caught out.
No charges.
and that's the big thing. Slow is smooth, smooth is fast.
Right.
Take your time. Understand that the bomb from plant takes 60 seconds. You have a minute. People need to be, coalescing, but also essentially fulfilling their own roles. So that means dropping util at the right time. That means, for specific players, such as I would say Cypher, Clove, slowing down on the retake, making sure they're checking those angles, getting deep enough to actually, like in the case of, say, if Clove had actually gone, or Athena had actually gone and specifically gone and, jiggle peeked that corner
Right.
and just kind of like stepped in, stepped out, they would have seen him on the bench there, and it would have allowed for, the ability to, know where that player is if Athena had died. Essentially, what you get is the information, which the teammates can then use and actually plan themselves around.
Playing very
so-
fast. Narhan down.
I was gonna say.
Spike down B.
Katsuni up. Not pushing Kevin. Pushing through smoke, actually. Could get in the way of Spooky and Kevin. Throwing a blind?
Not a blind.
Not a
That is a
blind.
molly.
Molotov.
Last player
And caught out by Doctor of Poop. Unfortunate. What I'm noticing is Georgetown is playing their angles, but they're also playing their cover
Last round in
a
the
lot
half.
more than Champlain is.
Yes, you'll notice that Georgetown seems a lot more confident in their positioning, and I think that's honestly might be what puts the nail in the coffin for Champlain. If they can figure out their positioning for their team and really hold on to their space, as opposed to specifically, playing for themselves, playing individually, they should have a lot more team stopping power against Georgetown because. Dr. Poop here going in slow. Killjoy
Nice kill.
taking his time. Lemon having to peek first. Realistically, as a fade, you should probably throw some util to actually, discover that rather than take it just a blind peek, essentially.
Placing
Because it
sentry.
leaves Champlain with only 2 players.
Alarm bot out.
Not the best.
One enemy remaining.
Another thing I'm noticing is Georgetown is a lot more confident playing through smokes. I can see that a lot of our players are hesitating once they're out of smokes, trying to reorient themselves, and that's caused them to miss some corners that normally they would be able to hit.
I was going to say, it seems like on an individual level, the team is less hesitant to go through smokes. And just in my time having played, I would definitely say
Switching
sometimes
sides.
you've got, all the teammates you were with, whether that's 2, 3, 1, 2, you gotta get on the same page and be like, okay, we're gonna run through this smoke, and you're gonna check left, I'm gonna check right, and we're either gonna hit our shots, get killed, or give that information to the rest of the team.
Right.
And it's less of, I would say, a confidence thing and more a communication thing in this instance. I think, realistically, if Champlain shells their confidence, doesn't consider it in the moment, and it's just like, okay, you go left, I go right, let's do it, and you go. 9 times out of 10, whether you're nervous about that, whether you're confident about that, you can make that work as long as you know you're doing it correctly, essentially.
Good start to the pistol round.
I was going to say,
Champlain playing together.
considering we just swapped sides here, as we can see, they're playing together, they're playing as a stack, they're willing, you know, to just take that fight as 4. Now, with this molly and this smoke in their way, will they actually think about rotating, or are they going to wait this out? We shall
Believe they're going to wait it out. However, I think we're also going to get caught out.
I was going to say, probably wanted to grab that, or maybe just a little bit, but it looks like they're going for the fast rotate here, which can be good, although them waiting kind of bites them in the butt, because that means that util is both already used, but that also frees up the players to already move. So you see Georgetown is already, you know, present in the space. Champlain has the front of sight, Georgetown has the back of
Conrad's
sight.
taking a flank here. Hopefully he can catch them out.
Lemon and
One teammate is
Athena,
down. They'll be on guard.
fantastic, going for a double
Nice
team
kill.
here, and
Nice kill!
exactly. Comrade, absolutely annihilating bottom frag, close out the round here. Finally get our 4th round.
So what do you think went differently for us that round? What do you think brought us to where we needed to be?
So I liked, even though I can't hear the comms, I could honestly, just from my play experience, see that people were communicating, people were playing together. And so I think that kind of highlights that, as far as I can see, as far as the audience has seen so far tonight, Champlain is hopefully going to do a fantastic job on attack if they can, you know, keep this level of close cohesion between each other, and then really just clean up their defense side, and get that same level of communication but spread across the map rather than having to be, you know, in a column or in a squad like attack is. Because as you see, yep,
Bottom frag
Athena
taken out.
able to just take it easy as they all push out through this smoke. Really good adjustment here.
Athena
And now they have
keep
to
playing together.
essentially
Can
play.
they-
Yep.
Nice kill. Nice job, Athena.
Because the Georgetown Brimstone was not ready, they were able to just double
Last
team
player
the
standing.
Killjoy there.
Back in a flash.
Absolutely take him out.
Wow.
And then Conrad and
Kevin
Athena
caught
just
out.
are walking straight into sight. Don't even have to worry about a bomb yet. That's the thing is, you can think a little bit more in the fact that Champlain knows they have a numbers advantage here, so they don't necessarily, you know, and they have a time advantage because it's earlier in the round. They don't necessarily need to be rushing to plant that bomb. I think that's a really good thing for Champlain, is willing to recognize when they have the numbers advantage versus when they actually need to use the time and the bomb to their advantage.
Right.
That's a big thing for a lot of low-ranking players. Rushing a bomb is the death of a lot of points. Being too focused on the objective of planting the bomb rather than winning the round, regardless of how that is done, trips up a lot of people. And you don't really, you know, without actually playing in a team environment, you might not necessarily really figure that out for yourself. Whether you're a player that, you know, gets a little trigger happy about planting that bomb or whatnot. Looks like Champlain is looking to just get some basic contact, take some util here. Not really playing the fastest.
Looking for that up shot.
If I had to take a guess here, I would hope that essentially, yeah, you have your first come out. Unfortunately, Comrade dies here, which isn't the best opener. For me, I'd probably try to get our fade off the site here. Yeah, because you get stuck on an impenetrable wall here that essentially is just a shoot. Really just fish in a barrel for Champlain, which is not really the position you want to be in.
Narhan looking for Athena, not finding her.
30 seconds left.
Narhan now knows, though, because of the bullet shots to the wall here, that he's on the left side, the deeper portion of showers, so they know they can kind of just wait him out, because they have bomb. They got 20 seconds. Georgetown has 20 seconds left. Champlain might have bomb, but they also know that Athena being on the
10
shower side
seconds
means
left.
that they can't really easily teleport, and they have control of the other teleporter for the fast rotate. So it's not really fantastic.
It's really a game of chicken
No one
here.
beats me.
I was
But we
gonna say,
win.
we don't win.
Never
We're no longer
mind.
defenders, Joe.
I lied. I saw blue and thought good. My apologies.
We are red.
I And I know we've switched.
Swap over to our players for a second here.
Yes.
There we go. Yeah, let's take a look at
Let's see.
anybody red here so we can get a attacker sided view. Seems like they're going to go for a split play here. It's going to be interesting. Okay, they're all gonna, yeah, okay, this is gonna be, looks to be a very hard showers, possibly a split play for A here. Probably gonna want the Gecko to throw out ult on long to actually expose this fade here. We can already see that we know there's at least one person, two people now on A because of the fade.
Narhan catching out existence.
Yeah, Narhan being able to take an existent without any prior util from the Gecko. Kind of isn't the best play here, but you know, you live, you learn.
Can we see Kastani take this back? Kastani and Athena both placed. Can Athena take it? No! Narhan getting 3
Narhan.
kills.
Just, I'm starting to see who the higher ranked players are in this lobby, and I can certainly say that Narhan is likely one of those candidates, just based on his gunplay alone. But that's something for Champlain to, you know, really reflect on and, you know, be willing to understand that they need to play more doubles. They need to play together in those swings.
One enemy
you know.
remaining.
In this case, we
Spike
saw very
planted.
clearly Narhan getting a 1v1 twice wins him gunfights because he is a better aim player.
Catch them.
Taking his time. Bomb is already planted.
Spooky taking out Comrade.
Comrade
Where are
being a 1v2. Not the best, especially when he's stuck in that corner. And essentially they're able to kind of just pincer him.
Teşekkürler. Thank you. Push no button.
And
Save the
unfortunately,
day.
that is another round to Georgetown.
It's okay. We are okay. I have seen worse. I have seen a, you know, nothing to 12 OT. So,
What is the best comeback you've seen?
in my time, honestly, a 1 to 11 that went to a 14-16 OT, I believe, correctly. Which was a Breeze map, which I don't know if Breeze is currently in the rotation. But as we start the round here, looking at Narhan, as Champlain looks to do a 3-man up B long. But Georgetown seems prepared as they have 3 players here. Comrade looking to take Orb. This could be good, so he has util for ult, so he can actually go in here and take clear of sight. I would encourage him to do so. Specifically because that catches him out, they lose the ult before it can even go down, and now they have to rely, hopefully, on Fade. So they can essentially figure out, you know, who's actually on this B site right now, because we have all 4 Champlain players geared towards this side, and Georgetown is kind of sitting pretty here, so we need to be making some money moves. Really be willing to pop util, use util, let me going down.
Our spike carrier's down.
Not the
Spike
best here.
down B.
Because now it's kind of a battle of attrition. We need to, you know, swap around here. Existing has both of his cages, so he has some eyesight block potential
30
here.
seconds
He has
left.
some,
I have
you know,
a cage triggered.
as we can see here, he's going to both entry into sight. Got all 3 players there. Should be hanging out in sight now. Going for plant.
I believe he'll get caught out.
Should not go for
Nice
that.
kill.
This is a good kill to have to start the round because that means they have no
10 seconds left.
sight control. Spooky getting taken out by Katsuni. Very good start. Very good start. That leaves Champlain in a 3v2. If they can position themselves for the post plant very well, they should, as I was saying, should be able to hold this off. But it's now a 2v2 here.
One enemy remaining.
Up you go.
I'm existing taking that for free. Bottom frag
Nice
getting
kill.
killed.
Sick next time, yeah.
We love to see it.
It's good. This is good. This is good. Champlain is now walking it 6-11. See if they can keep the coordination, if they can not give, you know, a free fight, a free 1v1 to people like Narhan, who we know kind of have that aim advantage, or at least be playing 2-1 against those better players to hopefully take them out of that equation early. That can give a lot of ground very easily to Champlain. That can really turn times really fast.
Indeed. Let's get a front view from Lemon over here.
I'm gonna want the fade going in first, although it's a little interesting that the fade is quite literally first in this line. You probably want the Yoru going up first with the fade as the close follow, because fade is your util, your info, and Yoru is kind of your offensive power. So, yep, and we're gonna counter ult here. This is good. That gives 3. Champlain needs to
Nice
be, yes, good for Lemon, good for Lemon. Able to
Nice
take
kill,
space.
Lemon.
Very good. With a 2, can they get a third? Yes,
Nice
they can get
kill.
3 here.
Spike down.
All coming down to Lemon as the tip of the spear. And they know that Spooky is on long. Good.
They do now.
Wow.
Hold.
That's a really good peek from Lemon, but just a really good head tap from Spooky, just to really just kind of put him on his own playing level. Kind of lock him in here. Oh, the shorty though, the shorty, come on. Oh, it's not enough, it's not enough.
Last
It's
player.
not enough.
Reload.
It's just, oh.
Spooky down.
But it's okay, Katsuni
We
is
get
there
it.
to clean it up. We are okay. That is the thing that always scares me about a shorty. You've got 2 shots, and in that
gotta make
scenario,
'em count.
you gotta make them count. And even, you know, the shorty being what it is, because it has those 2 shots, it's gotta be this mix of short range, but also decent spread, and, you know, that's why that damage was so high, but just not enough. Which, you know, not to say that's the worst thing, because we did clean it up in the end. And that is okay, because now we are 7-11. Slowly crawling it to the line. That is okay. If we could hold them all the way to 12-11, not go to OT, that would be a fantastic outcome. Going really slow here. Comrade.
Will be an interesting push from
Comrade has
Champlain.
ult.
We've been caught out here before.
I was gonna say, Comrade has ult. Lemon just took the orb on B, probably, possibly.
I like this angle.
I was gonna say, it looks like Lemon was likely going to get the double orb, but it's likely that Georgetown took the one in. Yeah, this is a pretty classic play here. You get some fake TPs here to, as we can see, very hard bait Georgetown, and they should be looking to go in now. Now that they have Yoru and their Gecko in spot. Fade can be the follow-up for the, essentially the anti. So they can actually get in here, because you see those need to get popped early or found. And that's a big thing I'm actually noticing from Champlain.
Unfortunate Comrade down.
Is
One
those
enemy
minor details that can really make or break a round. You know, looking for the Killjoy util, being willing to walk out onto site, not necessarily holding in, you know, a distinct position. When, you know, I think when you have 3 players, kind of viewing a site all from 3 different perspectives, and you're not seeing a single person, I think that's a pretty good guarantee that your strat worked, and that you should really be looking to essentially push that space, take control of it, and that's just kind of where Champlain fell short in the second, which is okay. You know, this is first map. This is kind of like, I would say, you know, stakes are the least high in the first map, because, you know, Champlain has an entire other map they can go through. And given that we're already seeing 7-12, it's really just, you know, they've got good, you know, they've got good communication. They just really needed to clean up these individual players, the small details, really. Like we see Lemon taking a whole bunch of space, not really sure if they know that the Waylay is behind them, kind of in this off corner here. But we do see 4 of Champlain. Keeping the B control. Looks like the Georgetown hesitant a little bit, sending their fade back, so it might be a fade v fade. With the Waylay also taken out of the equation. Could be a good 4v3 scenario. Yep. Could be a very good 4v3 scenario now for Champlain if they actually enter into the site. Looks like Lemon is going to take this to space quite aggressively, which is very good for them. Although this Waylay may waylay their plans quite heartily because they do not seem... Yep, we're about to see 2 of these
Explain
Champlain
what waylay their
players.
plans means to the uninitiated.
Waylay as in deny. But essentially here, what we see is that, you don't check that space and you lose, a core player. You lose a core component of this push, of this hold that Champlain now has to make up for. But now we know. And Athena, being in the spot that
Nice
they are
kill,
in,
Athena.
able to get that kill. But
Unfortunately, bottom frag tags.
I was going to say, the speed of Georgetown coming out is just unmatched. They're going to take
Wow.
this first map solely because their retake strategy is that real, cohesive, play together, kind of, force out single player fights into an advantage for Georgetown. And I think going into the next map, Champlain, can easily reflect and be like, okay, we're communicating, but we're not coordinated. And there is a difference there. You can communicate all you want. You can give all the information you want. But if you're not, coordinating, with your teammates, whether that's on an individual level or a team level, you really need to just focus on making sure that essentially, when a gap is created, you are either filling it as a player or you are matching to your role.
So,
With that being said,
we are going into the next match. To those who are just joining us, because we started quite abruptly, my name is Jonade the Whale, and I have here with me Jake/Omega, one of the alumni Valorant team members.
hello to all the new viewers as well as the viewers who are already here. Thank you for staying tuned and tuning in as well. But yeah, that was the wrap on map 1, 7-13 in favor of Georgetown. Seeing a lot of good, just based off the scoreboard, seeing a lot of good playing from Lemon. 7 first bloods is a good stat at the end of the day, but really gotta look at refocusing that, I think. Putting Fade as both your initiator and your duelist can be a little overwhelming for one person. But if Comrade can play a little more aggressively, Athena and Existing doing completely fun in their roles here as your smoke and essentially your controller players. So keeping control of sight on defense, but also, being able to make those openings. Really, Champlain's biggest issue right now is just coordination. Being able to, individually be like, hey, I'm going to pop this, I'm going to pop this ult, we're going to run in. And, just trying to essentially keep everybody on the same page, even in this really fast-paced environment. And that's honestly, I would say probably the upper hand of Georgetown is that they seem very well coordinated. Although it's very obvious that they can get shaken. If Champlain can shake them up, they're easily shaken. That's the thing. So just making sure that Champlain is essentially capitalizing on their picks when they can, to really, essentially eliminate key players in a play from Georgetown, because Georgetown's looking like they like to go really fast. But they seem like a pretty balanced team. So we saw some fast, we saw some slow, and being able to essentially, swap that rhythm, or at least just shake it, cause an issue in that plan, is likely to be a good key to success for Champlain. It really just comes down to can they communicate that out? Can they be more coordinated as a team?
Yeah. I'm looking forward to our team kind of analyzing the previous match, trying to get the download on, because that's really how you need to approach the next map. You just need to figure out where you're falling short, where you're going too slow. Now that they know they're not checking certain angles, I want them to be able to check those angles now and make sure that they're not, glossing over anything.
Exactly. There should never be really any blame in this type of, I would say in this competitive environment. It's more of like a don't really blame your players. Look at what you can do better. And that's usually from a team perspective. That's not from a player perspective. Although the players do key into that. So, in the case of certain players, being able to check those corners, do things similar. But I really think individually, some solid performances out of the majority of the Champlain players. It really just comes down to that team cohesion and making sure that they keep their strats, and not really giving those free gunfights, not losing control of every single round that they're going through.
It seemed to be, to me, a difference of tempo. Georgetown was able to move in fast, stop when they need to, kind of anchor themselves when they need to, hunker down and just shoot.
I was going to say, you could really see that team cohesion difference between the two teams based off of what we saw with Georgetown. Champlain, when they got in their groove, they hit, they went from 0 to 4, and then they went from 4 to 7 really fast, and they can get into those grooves. It's about keeping that consistency.
Right.
What we actually saw out of Georgetown was consistency. We saw them, not taking a lot of gunfights. And like I was saying, when Champlain was actually able to shake them up, catch them off guard, essentially take one of them out of the equation, that's when Georgetown just kind of crumbles, and that's where you gain your round really easily. But Champlain kind of has to get up to that level and match Georgetown in that let's enter this, let's walk through this smoke, let's use this util, let's ult and then throw out a smoke, or let's ult and then throw our fade eye to see what the displacement was.
Right.
There's
All
a lot
this
of
to say,
team
we're looking for
things.
flawless in the first round, easily on Champlain.
Yeah.
Like we not on Champlain, by Champlain. Excuse my English. I was just playing Valorant in French earlier, so my English is a little bit messed up.
Like again, that just comes down to it. That comes down to Champlain has their moments because
And we're on
they
Corrode.
can lock in. They can lock in. We've seen them lock in. We've seen them do it. They just need to get that consistency up. They need to be able to deliver on that. And, sometimes that means putting themselves in, a tough spot, but not an unwinnable spot. So that means taking, doubles and slowing things down, even when the pressure feels high, like in those bomb defusal situations, because you have a full minute. A lot of stuff can go, through, happen, and be done within 1 minute.
Now, on Corrode, are there any points, any areas that we should be wary of due to how we know Champlain has been playing? Is there anything that they can change or kind of would be to their advantage on this map?
Look at the fact that they've chosen to do defenders side. Well, it's likely that it wasn't their choice. It's likely the Georgetown choice, but them starting out on defenders will essentially put them at their weak point, which is okay to start out the game. What they can really focus on is site control. Site control is the big name of the game for Corrode. Making sure you're in, some standard angles, some weird angles, but really keeping the area of control. That's why there's a whole lot of doorways, both B and A sided, that give you a whole lot of different angles to run with. But the biggest thing I think Champlain can worry about is just that site control. And then obviously, I think with Corrode being that kind of 3-lane map style, you'll see probably a 2-and-2 standard for defense, and then you'll see one in the center to just hold that mid lane. Likely that's either going to be like a Fade or an Omen. Could also be a quick rotate. Actually, honestly, having Lemon hold that space could be really good because that would allow Lemon to essentially be their fast rotate, giving them the gunfight strength when they need it, where they need it, as opposed to, say, putting a lopside to their plans. Unless they plan to play aggressively here, one-sidedly, which seems like they can certainly do since they have the Raise and Fade together on A. It's just whether or not Georgetown does a lot of their splits that they were doing in the last map on Corrode and follows through. If Champlain can get some early picks, things like that. And we're going into the round as we speak. Looks like, as I said, Raise here. Who's our Raise? If we can. It's Comrade. Yeah, Comrade's Omen. Athena is Fade this round. But yeah, we lost our Raise here really early, but that gave us good info, showing that, you know, Georgetown is playing in their slow pace first, catching Champlain's aggressive pace.
Nice kill.
Unfortunately, Katsune getting a really good kill on bottom frag, though, to
health.
hopefully cut the eco difference down just a tad. Champlain could eke out, you know, 1 or 2 more kills that can set them up, even in a loss scenario, for a good time. Existing really needs to get here to be playing with Katsune. They don't know that, yeah, looks like this A-hold. It's just going to be all Georgetown now. They're just going to take that free space to A because they know where those 2 players are. They know that essentially the Champlain players are forced to play together here. Whereas you see the Georgetown is just able to take as much space as they want on that right side of the map.
Tough fight.
Yeah, you see one, but Katsune being low health, taken out really easily here. Existing having to take a lot of slack in here, but that is okay. Dodges this. Gotta look closer there, you can see, yeah. If only it had been a little bit better. Oh, he's getting a headshot here. Gonna say, had that smoke been a little worsely placed, it could have been a really good option for him. Knowing the fact that essentially had that flash not popped in his face, he would have seen where it was. He would have known exactly where their KO is, been able to swing straight to that smoke, take a head tap, then go really try to fight for that last second, you know, kill into defusal. Yeah. Comrade going to look to block the mid push. Pretty good solid plan out of the gate here. Yeah, because it looks like they're putting a lot of pressure into this now with this rotate from Georgetown. So, yeah, that's going to be a little tough. Comrade doesn't get caught by that. But they know that at least one of them is there based off the Fade util. And Comrade is just going to get caught out in the open there. He doesn't really have any egress point. And Lemon is going to go down in similar fashion.
Spike down mid.
Existing, really just existing on B over here. Fade, yep. Yeah, our Athena just really just taken out real quick. Kind of an unfortunate game here. What Existing can really do here, not much, but what he can get will help them regardless. So any kills, any util, things like that. Things that just really force eco or force, you know, replanning a strategy based off of what guns they'll actually have. Yep, making sure you get closer there. Existing had a good move there, although the peak was a little just a tad off. Keeping their gun out.
Had a little bit further of a swing than I think we were expecting there.
I was gonna say. With the skill level of the Champlain players, no knock to them. But, you know, being ready, having your gun out there, you know, in that scenario when you're just by yourself at that point, you know, you don't really need to take your knife out per se. Specifically because you kind of know that you're the only one alive, so you really just want to be ready for that gunfight. Take it when you can.
Our hand will be taking that.
Say
Lemon tagging him a little bit.
Util here. Doesn't know if Narhan is up, but They know they're going in a little aggressively here. That's good. There's one dog and the Fade Eye. Fade is
Hand down.
taken absolutely out. But existing is traded for the angle. So, but Lemon gets a
instantly down.
fantastic swing onto Dr. Poop. And
Oh
another
my.
one onto bottom frag, leaving Spooky in the middle by themselves, but Kevin is
Lemon
quick to
is in their
rotate here.
heads.
Oh, but he's going to get caught out because he's just
Ooh.
not in a fantastic position there. He probably should have moved just a little bit sooner. But Champlain's
was a
still
tough
playing
angle
numbers
to
advantage.
defend
This
against,
is
though.
okay. And as I keep speaking, it just keeps getting worse. Casting curse, truly, in effect tonight. We
Caster's
see.
Curse, truly forced to be reckoned
I
with.
was going to say, we have Katsuna and Athena still on the field,
30
but
seconds left.
they've kind of been bamboozled here. They have A control, but there is no A players to be found from Georgetown. Georgetown has quite literally gone all the way to the opposite side of the map and is getting ready to just plant that, essentially set and forget, and really just let Champlain try to, funnel in.
10 seconds left.
But
Spike planted.
now that they've kind of figured that out, now that they've done a little bit of a slow discovery of A, they have been able to figure out that, yes, Georgetown, after the plant, is on
Find
B.
you.
Fade Eye just a little bit shallow there. Had it gone over there, probably would have been in slightly better position-wise. But now we know there's one right.
Unfortunately.
Taking Athena out, though, is just a really sad occurrence there.
Oh.
And Katsuna to follow. Really tough opener for Champlain here.
Hey, little man,
Just
pump us
holding
up.
two
Let's
very
hear it.
tough angles for us to defend against. It would have required a pretty aggressive push from the two of us.
I was going to say, Champlain being in their eco deficit here, really probably just going to be a rundown round for them, but not the worst thing in the world. Realistically, it's get kills where you can and get your eco up as much
More
as
of the
you
same,
can, so
yeah?
you're hopefully ready to buy guns, possibly keep a couple guns if it goes in favor of them. But this round is kind of just like it's the scrap round, really.
Yeah.
Which is fine. Looks like they're going to have Comrade fast rotate, although he might get taken out. Maybe. Oh, but the smoke is actually what saves him here. Completely fine.
This is
Looks like they're gonna Georgetown's gonna fast rotate to A for that, but 3 of Champlain's players are ready for that. Athena here,
Face your fear.
but the ult's gonna put a lot of pressure on
How will
Champlain
this
here.
fight go?
Ooh,
Nice kill,
Athena's
Athena.
getting a really good kill on bottom frag, but is pushed out and has to take
Unfortunate.
the unfortunate battle against Narhan.
Last player
And
standing.
That's me
Katsune
caught
is
out.
just blindsided. He's just left by themselves too.
Wow.
They kind of peek into 3 there and just really go into the next round. But like I said, one kill, good. Not the worst thing in the world. Not the best thing. And now they have some ego to play with. And hopefully, if they play the cards correctly, what I'd like to see out of them is likely to forego the mid player, which is what I think we're seeing here. Player B A lockdown, essentially. Leave mid open because of the way that Corrode works. And it looks like Georgetown is a bit hungry to get on site rather than explore. Could be an advantage for Champlain because it's less space they have to worry about, and more lockdown of sites that they can be doing. Let's see. We're gonna go out here on B. Sorry for my incessant yawning tonight.
Bring them down.
It's been a long day being.
And we see
the
Lemon
Valorant
get
Pro.
traded, but that's not the worst
Ooh,
outcome.
will we
Athena walking fast through mid isn't going to see
I
the
believe
fade. Is going to
she's-
get caught out
yeah.
here.
Last player
Unfortunate.
standing.
Yeah, see,
Just
this is
did
where
not check the corners.
Georgetown's pressure is really getting to Champlain and
Spike
kind of
planted.
cracking them like an egg. They get a little too worried, get a little
Nice
too
kill.
lost in the sauce, if you will. Over where the team is at, over that that
Keep
slight
fighting. Rest is over.
information difference that really has been catching them off guard. But Champlain having been in their essentially their bye round here, going back to eco. So could see a cascading difference here unless we see some good gunplay from Champlain. Looks like Comrade's gonna buy a Guardian here. Interested to see.
Shadows traveling.
Hit the tab real quick for me, Jim. A little bit of commentary here. Okay.
You are powerless.
Walking out, maybe pretty slow. Lemon getting taken out
Existing
real
taking it
fast
crazy,
here. Existing getting
crazy
blocked on his kill by the wall. Katsuna getting the trade. Comrade being able to take that.
Dotson taken out as well.
Oh, I was gonna say Comrade with a fantastic trade, only to be traded himself, and Katsuna getting
Spike planted.
blindsided by the quick flick. And Athena by themselves.
Armed only with the sheriff.
Can they 3v1? They do have some good util. They
Spooky
have
does
an
have a
ult.
better angle on them.
Probably gonna
currently.
want to save the ult here, though. It's more of a team builder.
Spooky and Athena are aware of each other. Wow. Bottom frag taking some wall bangs there.
I'll find you.
Unfortunate.
Dr. Poop is just in the right position to just take a sweet little head tap to Athena.
It's a tough angle to take there. Athena was being pushed by, 3 members of Georgetown.
Like I said.
Not really able to do anything once that smoke went down.
Yeah, like I said, the numbers pressure, the players pressure really matters. And Champlain kind of playing this reactive game instead of this proactive game is eating them up just a tad. They really need to look to flip the script here, essentially, and really force Georgetown with either good picks or an aggressive play into making some mistakes. Good lord, I am tired tonight. I do apologize.
Athena is getting pushed hard right now.
I was gonna say, Athena getting caught out here,
Unfortunate.
blind, looking to try to anti-util, overtaking the util out
Nice kill,
first.
Lemon. Nice kill.
Lemon getting some really nice taps though, just to clear out the mistakes. And seeing
Spike
the
planted.
yep.
That's very big. If Lemon can get one more kill, we can get even.
One enemy remaining.
Ooh, nice,
The
nice.
ult pressure just really pushing them straight into existing. But do they know? Yep. Here comes the Asher Classic here.
Nice kill. Let's go,
Asher
Lemon.
Classic, but Lemon knows how to play it just correctly. Being able to pull them off bomb, but Lemon knows if I just stay still, I can get my shot back and take them out. Really secures the round for Champlain's first win on the board. It is okay. We're not going to be shut out tonight, and that is sometimes all that matters for the steam to get rolling, for the train to actually leave the station.
We can hope that Lemon can continue that throughout this map.
I'm really interested to see, now that Champlain is hopefully going to be, at a gun advantage, building up some positive eco here, even with Georgetown's, essentially their eco dominance right now. If we can, yes, Lemon and Comrade just getting an opening triple, just really locking Georgetown down for the round as long as, as I
Lemon
say
and
that,
Comrade
Spooky
down.
is instantly trying to even the tide.
Spooky is half. It is
Champlain needs to
winnable.
look to keep his gun advantage here. Really be able to actually take advantage of getting the guns from Georgetown's
Smoke.
players.
Can we
and
react
use,
fast enough?
Say, this gecko! He gets both of them again!
Last player standing.
Unfortunate. Okay. Gosney last alive. Can we rely on our gunplay here?
Arhan in the
Spike
corner, is he going to
planted.
check it deep enough? Yes, he will, and he'll get it, he'll get it!
Can we catch Spooky?
Can we? No!
Check your corners.
No! It was so close!
I found a pattern.
Like
here.
I said, we could. It's okay. It's okay. What could be done better there? Take your
Unfortunately,
time.
we don't look
We
left.
know that bomb just got planted. That's a fresh bomb, folks. That's a fresh bomb. We got a minute. That was second 58 of 60. We were okay. We could slow it down just a little bit. But Katsune felt the pressure just a little too much and crumbled. But, as I said, it's only week 4, so if this happens, in the future, these are all good notes to take into consideration going into the next games against our other opponents.
Nice kill.
Good first kill for Dr. Poop. I've been putting in a
On Dr.
lot
Poop.
on Dr. Poop.
You were also in the French Valorant game.
Apparently. It's infected my brain as well.
Not another step.
Ooh, will we catch Spooky off guard? Please look right.
There we go.
Unfortunately, we don't look right either.
Just really just walking it down for Georgetown at this point. Need to be willing to actually check these corners first and foremost for our players.
I'm out.
Unfortunately, we used util instead of gun, and we got caught out.
That's
What are we
true.
thinking
Good
here?
advice.
How do we
Trying to
pivot?
process all. Well, now that Champlain has some. Let's see here. Are we able to? Yes, we are. Let's see. As we can see, Georgetown still has a gun advantage here, which is not the worst thing in the world. But with Champlain having 3 rifles, it can be considered very even, as long as Champlain looks to use these rifles to get picks first and foremost. By playing doubles, not playing these solos. We can see 3 players coming in here,
Nice
getting
kill,
Arhan.
Lemon.
That's a big first opener. Lemon, I don't know about that nade, but okay. Spooky, get it.
Out of charge.
He
Got
did
to
it
back
for
up
movement?
here. Oh, that's really good, actually. Tells him a lot.
We do need to check
But let's
behind us. Nice kill,
Really good shot for Lemon.
Spike down.
Taking out bottom frag,
One
really
enemy
forcing it
remaining.
onto Georgetown to leave Dr. Poop to be the last one alive. And I'm Existing is just going to just walk
Nice
straight up to him.
cleanup.
They can all take these rifles now, and now we have 2 free rifles. And any players who survived that last round can now buy, and we should have at least 4 rifles if the math is mathing.
We call that free real estate.
We call that free real estate sometimes. Let's see. And we're now 2-8. So, we've got a long road to recovery, but still possible. Still possible. 4-5 rounds for Georgetown left to go for them. But Champlain gotta lock in, and we'll be okay. Looks like we're going to
We
be
just
playing
need
aggressive
6 more
here.
rounds.
Look at this. Look at this.
Face your
See, this
fear.
is what I like to see from Champlain. They're deciding to just kind of change it up. They know they can play aggressive on A, letting essentially Cypher play his sights. Then he's able to just say, "Hey, I'm getting overwhelmed."
planted.
And they're going to come in right behind, and if they know their positioning, looks like they're going a little fast here. But
Wow.
they're going to clear their opener, which means that Georgetown now has to essentially play defense into an offense, which is not the best thing to be doing on B, I can say.
Will
Now,
Kevin get caught out here? Will he fall into the trap? He has very good high ground advantage. But gets
and
caught
that's
out by
the
bottom
thing.
frag.
That's the big thing.
Last
We're rushing
round
that
before the
bomb.
switch.
You know, we know we've got about 30 seconds left. We should go for some fakes. We should, try to get those players to just kind of, pop out. Pop out at the party. It's really just, I'm going to say about 10 million times before I actually get the words out of my mouth. But
It's a great placeholder.
better than Katsune is kind of playing their normal angle here. It looks like we're going to
Yeah, I'm
see this
existing
kind of
here.
standard 2-3 split from Champlain. But we do see the fast B from Georgetown. Gives just about all we need to know about what they're going to play. So essentially, as we can see
Spike
here,
planted.
our rotates are coming out accordingly from Champlain. Katsune
Nice kill.
getting a nice first kill,
Unfortunate.
but getting traded. That is okay. Did still get some damage on Narhan. As bottom
Nice
frag gets
kill.
just absolutely decapitated. Lemon taking out bottom frag, being able to.
Player standing.
Oh,
Unable to take it there. Doctor of Poop running it down.
I was gonna say, the util kind of just overwhelmed Champlain there, and they
Switching
just lost
sides.
their flow.
It's a lot of clutter.
It's a lot of clutter. It's a lot of clutter. And really, it just comes down to that cohesion, like I've been saying. It comes down to that cohesion. They were playing well together, but You know, we saw Lemon looking one way. We saw, who was it there? I think it was Athena. Essentially playing that left-right when realistically we know after those, 10 seconds of Athena looking left, all of our focus should be focused on that right. Play that double angle. Fight Dr. Poop. Take him out of the equation. God, his name is so funny.
The origins of it are quite interesting.
Lemon going in aggressive, getting traded by Narhan though, is taking bottom frag out of the equation though. That is okay. But, Champlain now, being their first attack round, has to take their time. Existing, losing that space, are they going to get caught out here? It's likely that they can certainly get caught out very fast.
We are getting caught out by Kevin over there.
Yes, the positioning is not in favor of Champlain, as their waylay just takes out half the Champlain players in quick succession, leaving Comrade to essentially play for himself against 3 players here. They know he's going towards A. He's got to just fast take it out and just
Nice
smoke.
kill.
Oh my god, can he get it though? He's got to play this slow. He's got a blind. He's got to smoke. Play time. He's got 45 seconds. He's got just
worried
enough
we're
time to
going to
fast
get
rotate
pushed
here. But they are in the right position to know exactly where he's going. It looks like he's going to double back here. And it looks like they're not going to check because
30 seconds
the eye
left.
just didn't catch him. So he's just going to walk up for A free. And they're going to rotate and they're going to be off. This is good. This is good. We're okay. He's going to have his smoke. He's got his blind. He can use that in post. They're starting to figure it out. He's got to go fast here now so he can essentially plant this on A in the corner, and then he's got as much
10
control as
seconds
he
left.
muster as they come in behind him. He's going to hear them doing this, though. So hopefully that gives him about as much as he needs. He still has a blind. I need him to use this blind.
Will he use his blind?
One enemy
Nice.
remaining.
Nice. Please.
Back up. You have a blind. Yes. Yes. Give it some
understands it
space.
now.
Yeah. He
He
understands.
understands it now.
He's locking in. He's got some good movement. He understands.
You know what you
He
must
knows.
do.
Yes! Conrad with the clutch! Giving us our 3rd round on the board. That's what we like to see. He let the pressure let him. Didn't get to him. He didn't crumble. He played it slow. He recognized his util. There was probably some good communication from the Champlain players being like, you have your blind! You have your blind!
You know
Keep
what you
that
must
in.
do.
You know
Now
what you must do.
it.
Now do it!
To those of you listeners that aren't used to the pop-offs of me and Jake Omega, this is normal occurrence for when something this clutch occurs.
Let's see here. And as we're seeing here, Champlain is going to be walking out. Ooh. And we might have lost our casters for a second here. That is okay.
No longer get to see our beautiful faces. It's so upsetting, isn't it?
We're great voices, though. We're fantastic.
Yeah. Made for radio, honestly. All right, as we see a push onto Spooky, a little low for our sight lines. Up, little peek of the head.
Oh, and they're
Will
gonna
he
catch him
jump?
out. This is really good. Oh, I confused myself, though, apparently. This is not good for Champlain.
One enemy remaining.
Oh? Kevin hit by the...
I am.
Nice! Flawless? Wait,
Flawless?
are we back to Felino's Flawless?
We're back with a
Do we
Felino's
have
Flawless.
the Felino's Flawless back? I am the boomer of casting, so we may or may not have it.
John, are we still sponsored? Are we still
I don't know.
Are we still a sponsor?
Felinos, if you no longer sponsor us, please take us back.
Please take us back.
Please
We
take
loved
us
your
back.
pizza.
We
Please
love you so
take
much.
us back.
Please take us back.
Anyways.
I'm on my knees, Felino's Pizza.
I'm begging. But as we go into I'm just gonna laugh
Lock
about
in.
Felino's now. for Burlington natives who know Felinos.
If you know, you know.
Fantastic.
Cover going out.
Fantastic wood-fired pizza. Some would say
Look,
better
Fire
than
Pizza. How's Pizza gonna find a job now? I apologize to our audience.
Okay, attacking our.
Wow.
Spike down.
Okay,
A.
very fast round from
Last player
Champlain, but
Unfortunately.
really coordinated from Georgetown. Really coordinated from Georgetown.
What would their flawless be?
That's a great question. It should be a flawed. That should be a flawed flawless because I feel like Champlain just needed to recognize, Georgetown decided to swap it up, and they know at this point. Georgetown knows how to swap it up. So it's kind of like you really need to understand that Champlain should change their tempo. As hard as it is to say, and if they don't want to, what they can do is swap sites. You can always
Indeed.
swap sites.
Comrade being able to take a little angle. They are
Lyman
seemingly
getting taken
ready
out
for
early,
it.
though, that's not a great opener for Champlain because that is their single duelist down. Which means that they do now need to play this just a tad bit slower. But Kevin is not without some damage, so this is okay for now. Narhan getting some pretty good information about
Do
Champlain.
have a good gun. Can we catch? Nice kill.
Being able to take out bottom frag is a good pick for them, plus the damage on the waylay. He is a really good opener as long as the fade is not the first one to go down here. Probably should give that to the Gecko, to be honest. Just so that he can essentially send that out with his little buddy. Personally, what I would probably do. They're going to fight Narhan. Narhan screws up their dog, which is fine. They're going to look to play
This
in
is
here,
gonna
but
be
there's three
nice
here,
kill,
and they're...
Comrade.
Okay, and they've got the ability to just walk into
Lying
sight
down.
here.
30
Well, they need to
seconds
understand that if Georgetown... Yep,
Who
Georgetown
cares?
has regained their...
Just barely.
A.
Say, Georgetown reclaiming their eyesight is not a fantastic thing for Champlain.
Wow, this is a util
Ooh,
cloud. Nice
but Conrad
kill,
gets
Comrade.
a really good pick. Yes!
And we're back.
And Katsune gets their first pick in a hot second, but it matters so much. As I would like to say, a very common thing for a lot of Valorant players is kills over effectiveness. Now, we haven't seen a lot of kills from Katsune this game, which is okay. Why? Because when they got the kills, it's mattered. So, just remember, not always do you actually never... Oh, sorry. We're getting some teleprompters here. But, it's not always about the kills. It's about winning at the end of the day. And if that means, a kill every 5 rounds is going to matter more than a kill every round, then that's what has to happen.
It's something that we FGC gamers call a win condition,
Correct.
especially against an opponent stronger than yourself. You have yourself a win condition so you can continue to make yourself better despite getting...
And especially for Champlain,
demoralizing
I would
rounds.
certainly recommend. They have 2 good ults here. They have their offensive commit ult with this raise. As long as they don't get caught out here and they lose raise, they have a great opener for getting onto the site they choose to go with. And they have Comrade's ult to either be able to use for a quick rotate, or they could use it for the info. In this case, I'd probably...
Wow, through the
With him
smoke,
going down,
Kevin take out
it's not that
Comrade.
fortunate, but with him going down, it's something that they can use.
Unfortunate.
But Narhan is able to take Athena out really
Full-on
quickly, but is
execution.
traded by Lemon, which is a very good trade in the sense of the players. Able to get poop, but...
Can we do
Sorry,
it,
I had to
folks?
get quiet there for a second.
Can we do it?
Katsune, yes, play this
Know where
angle
the head
together.
is.
This is fantastic teamwork
Come
from
on.
Champlain. Play, both of you play into this. No! No! It's okay. It's okay.
We can make it back.
Their mistake there was purely experience. Purely experience. You saw they had the right idea. They had the right idea, but One of them just got a little too trigger happy.
The execution was
wanted
just
to
a
get in
little
there
soft.
just a little too fast. You really got to wait for that flash to go out first so that you can literally make sure that that smoke is either clear or what's behind that smoke is clear, so then you know what you're getting into.
Right.
Because they were kind of in a 50-50 scenario, and that 50-50 played to Spooky's advantage and allowed him to get both kills instead of getting double teamed.
Going astral, guys.
So, with Champlain on what is essentially their last bout to stardom in tonight's match, if they can keep this up. So now we have 3. What they could possibly do is they could use a Gecko util for some info. They could use the Omen util for some info. They could commit. They essentially have all of their main.
This is going to be very important. Will they check?
No, they will
They
not.
They know.
They know, but they will get
Unfortunately, they're not fast enough.
overhanded by it.
Bring them down.
Get clapped, if you will. Which
Taken out by
and Dr. Poop
unresisting.
being taken out by the gun advantage, which is okay in this scenario, and leaving it at a 3v3.
Athena pulling up on bottom frag.
What? Should pull up the scoreboard real quick so I can see the gun difference? Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Let Katsuna get that rifle real quick so that they have a gun advantage yet again. It's 2 rifles versus 2 rifles, and this could certainly still go in Champlain's favor very quickly.
One enemy remaining.
Got 3.
I'm existing at
30
6
seconds
health.
left.
This
Existing
is rough.
going to be in a very tight spot in the last 26 seconds here. Can he make or can he break this game? Oh!
Defenders win.
Good try from I'm existing. Really? When you're down in that, you have 20 seconds left, you got 6 HP, what more can you do than try to take a gunfight? Or get bombed down, then take that gunfight. Really, for him, it could have gone either way. In that case, it is what it is. We are going to find out very soon here as well. It looks like we are possibly going to be doing an interview from the players. Would like to see, what went well for them, what they felt, they did right versus what they did wrong. And, we are going to figure out who our interview subject is, and then we are going to do a quick break here, mainly for bio and things like that, and we'll be right back with you folks.
And we are back. Unfortunately, tonight we will be unable to conduct an interview as our team is remote tonight.
Yeah, a bit of a miscommunication there.
Bit of
But
a
it happens.
miscommunication.
It happens.
It happens. So we thank you for watching the stream tonight, and we hope you have a very good night and continue to support us on these streams. We really appreciate it.
Yes, we appreciate all the views. You know, we are a college program. Anything helps us. We appreciate all views, all people, and we hope you have a great night, guys.
Good night.